Well, welcome to our World of Equine News report, our June report for 2013. We're glad to have you join us. Now, we're going to start out with a story that's been hot in the news for the last few weeks, the Oklahoma tornadoes. They were devastating to all, human and animal. Disaster help for horses and livestock owners in Oklahoma and beyond is key. Kenda Woodburn moved to Oklahoma last year as a county agent for the Tulsa area. She's working with other county agents in the state to get help for those victims, especially the horse people that have been affected. Now, she said that the authorities are still not letting very many people or organizations in, and it's going to be at least another week before they can verify all of the ones who are trying to help. Now, she and the other county agents for the state will have access and can get in there later this week. They're going to be working with the veterinarians and others to give assistance to the folks that are in the farm and ranching sections. They're going to work there first. She'll let everyone know when they need help, and they do not have insurance, they can help them as well. Sometimes you don't know where to go for help. The folks in larger towns are being helped first, since they're obviously the closest to the aid stations that are set up. Now, lots of people who want to help are being turned away and are told not to come in. Kenda's group will be targeting these areas in and around Shawnee, Bethel, Little Axe, Kearney, and others, as they have been somewhat overlooked by the media and others. Any donations given to the Arkansas Equine Foundation, the 501c3, will be tax deductible, and the proceeds will be used for the farmers and ranchers in the areas not served by the larger organizations. Kenda and other county agents are also working with the Tulsa Food Security Council and Oklahoma State University. And we in Arkansas will be giving you updates as they come in from the Arkansas Horse Council. Now, we have some folks who have offered to house animals in Arkansas, and people, if you want to do that, let us know. Anywhere in the area, you can be added to the list. Donations can be sent to the Arkansas Equine Foundation, that's in Kingston, Arkansas, by phoning 479-665-2113. Also for assistance, the American Horse Council posted on its link to the AAEP, that's the Equine Practitioners Association. Now, their foundation is collecting funds to support the horses from this and other disasters. And Southern Kettle Moraine Horse Trails Association is also collecting funds for Oklahoma horses. Now, these are valid ways for individuals to support the horses and horse owners that are in need. You can check out either the AAEP, that's the American Association of Equine Practitioners, or the AHC, that's the American Horse Council, or SKMHTA, which is the Southern Kettle Moraine Horse Trails Association in Wisconsin, for more details. And we wish all of those victims in Oklahoma from the tornadoes the best possible outcome. Shifting gears now, the American Morgan Horse Association and the American Morgan Horse Educational Charitable Trust are stunned by the images and reports of devastation coming out of Oklahoma also. They themselves have also established a fund to assist with relief and recovery efforts related to those tornadoes. These funds will be directed to specific locations around Moore, Oklahoma, organizations in need of funds, and to the American Red Cross. Oklahoma holds a special place in our hearts with the Morgan horses as they host the annual Grand National and World Champion Morgan Horse Show each October. AMHA has set up a donation fund to assist. That's the AMHECT out of Shelburne, Vermont, and you can get a hold of them through the American Morgan Horse Association. Hey, we'll be right back. We got a story from the woods. That's St. Mary of the Woods College in Terre Haute, Indiana. Stay with us. We at Speaking of Horses would like to thank the people who have made Speaking of Horses TV possible. To Equessentials, all your horse grooming, coat and care products specifically designed for your horse. A thank you to King Barns, custom-built barns, any style, any project you'd like. Get a hold of King Barns. To Overland Carts, if you want that versatile utility cart for your stable that can do anything, check out Overland Carts. Stall Butler, a unique design on how you can muck your stalls and save 90% of your shavings for reuse. Check out Stall Butler. And Eagle Erie Equine, modular systems for saddle racks, tack bars, and the like. Totally organize your tack room with Eagle Erie Equine. Thanks to all of these fine people who make Speaking of Horses possible. St. Mary of the Woods College in Terre Haute, Indiana has one of the top-rated equestrian programs, equestrian colleges in the country. Now, recently, while at the Hoosier Horse Fair in Indianapolis, we caught up with Dr. Chris Marks from the Equestrian School in Terre Haute. Here's our talk about St. Mary of the Woods College. Watch. Hey, we're Speaking of Horses, Hoosier Horse Fair, Indianapolis, and right now Dr. Chris Marks is my guest from St. Mary of the Woods College, and one of the best equestrian programs around.
Well, we like to think it's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Well, we hear a lot of feedback from employers and from horse people in the industry, and our reputation appears to be pretty sound right now.
I think it is. Now, you're located Terre Haute, Indiana, and you have kids from all over the country come in to participate in this, right?
Yes, from all over, far away as Alaska and Hawaii and Connecticut and Colorado, and lots from Indiana and Illinois as well.
Well, yeah, and I happen to know a couple of the Wisconsin students.
Yes.
The Malock.
Oh, yes, the Malik sisters.
Malik, I said it wrong, yes.
Indeed. The formidable cheeseheads that they are. Indeed. Two very accomplished riders, one of whom has graduated already, the other of whom is getting ready to leave us this spring. So.
And their mother, Kelly, does a pretty good job, too.
That's what I understand, yeah. Both pretty fearless riders, and really, they'll make great employees.
So, if people are looking to get involved and have students come to your program, how do they go about doing this?
Well, one of the best ways, of course, is to go online to smwc.edu, check out the course offerings and the majors that we offer, and, of course, contact us. Be not shy at all about contacting us. There are not very many equine studies programs in the country, and you'll find that they are all different, and they are attached to institutions of all sizes with various attributes. And what I like to say to my prospective students is, if the woods is right for you, you'll know it. The best way to find out is to come and see us.
Well, that is the best way, but you have majors in various equine studies, right?
We do. We have actually 3 different majors. We have equine studies, which is a very flexible major, applicable to a wide variety of career paths. We have equine business management for those who want to specialize more in a business realm. And then we have equine instruction and training. We focus primarily on training riding instructors in that major, but also those who wish to have a training emphasis.
Yeah, so it's a great college. It's a great equine program. And we're glad to run into you here at the Hoosier Horse Fair.
Well, I feel that's very fortuitous, and thank you so much for interviewing me.
Now, if you're with us, eventually we're going to be doing a show based just around St. Mary of the Woods College and the equine program. So later on through the year, you're going to see a full 30-minute TV show on Speaking of Horses dedicated to this program. It's a great program.
Well, we can hardly wait. We're ready to entertain you mightily.
Well, I was going to try to do this a year ago, and I had an issue. I couldn't make it, but we're going to get it done. So Chris, thank you.
Well, we'll be waiting, and thanks to all your listeners.
Or should I say Dr. Marks rather than Chris?
Chris works for me.
All right, thanks. Hey, we're at the Hoosier Horse Fair. You stay with us. We got a lot more coming right here on Speaking of Horses. You know, the show of PRE shows, the National Celebration 2013, will be held this year in beautiful Santa Barbara, California, at the Earl Warren Showgrounds. Save the dates of September 10th to the 14th for the opportunity to show off your horse and compete with the best PREs. That's pure Spanish Andalusians in the country. This year's show will be headed by Maria O'Brien, whose show committee has been working hard to make sure the show is a terrific tribute to the PRE breed. If you would like to get involved and help out, please contact the Foundation office at 505-294-0800 or email them at info@prehorse.org. New dual champion prize being offered this time. In the spirit of cooperation, the Foundation will be offering a special award for dual champions of the two major fall PRE shows in California. Anyone who enters their horses in the national celebration and in the Feria del Caballo Español show at the City of Industry, California, will be given a $1,000 prize if they win any of the following classes in both shows. We want to talk a bit about Sunrise Foundation. The clip-clop of tiny hooves on the pavement, it echoes in the courtyard as Wendy, the miniature horse, makes her way toward the children waiting outside the entrance to the hospital. Eager questions start flowing. What's the difference between a pony and a miniature horse? Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Wendy works as a therapy horse for Sunrise, that's S-O-N-R-I-S-E, Equestrian Foundation. Sunrise is a 501c3, a nonprofit guided by Christian-based values that makes a positive difference for youth living with social, emotional, or physical challenges, including terminal illness. Participating children develop confidence, integrity, and responsibility through mentoring and peer relationships centered around the care and enjoyment of horses. Centrally located in Castro Valley, California, Sunrise has been serving children ages 6 to 18 since 2006. We'll be back with more in just a bit. Stay with us. We got a story from Norco, California. Well, we'd like to take a moment and thank people who make Speaking of Horses TV possible. We want to thank One Source Nutrition, the perfect blend of nutrients to help your horse. It's One Source Nutrition. And Revitavet, equine light therapy for either toning up muscles before competitions or to promote rapid healing. You want Revitavet. Equine Savings. This program can save you up to 25% on tractors, stable equipment, yes, and even on barn paint. Be sure and go to Equine Savings and check it out. To Hoosier Horse Trailers. Quality horse trailers, living quarters, you and your horse can ride in comfort. And Saratoga Stalls. Classic equine stalls built specifically for you. Thank you to Saratoga Stalls. And thanks to everyone who makes Speaking of Horses TV possible. Well, you know, we were recently in Norco, California, and learned of a great program to help horse camps, horse hotels while you travel, and wonderful tips on riding your horse in the areas. It's called Trailmeister. Now, here's an interview we had, a very informative talk about Trailmeister and their involvement. Watch this. Hey, we're in beautiful Norco, California. We've been here all weekend long. We are at the California Backcountry Horsemen's Rendezvous, and we're having a ball. Robert Ebersol is my guest right now here, and the company is Trailmeister. It's on the shirt, it's above the map. Tell us a little bit about Trailmeister and exactly what this is.
Well, Wayne, Trailmeister is the largest horse trail and horse camping directory in North America. We've got over 1,500 riding areas and camping areas for horse and mule people. We're both venues on the website, and we touch about 5,000 people a day. We're down here at the Rendezvous talking about map and compass usage and teaching horse and mule riders to use that map and compass that we all have in our saddlebags, and a lot of us don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, when you're out and the electronic GPS doesn't work, okay, you still have to know how to use a map and a compass. And as a buddy of mine once did, he bought a brand new compass, went out in the woods and says, okay, we're lost now, but I can find our way back. Because he said, that way's north. And they said, well, did you take a bearing on camp before we left? No. Therefore, we only knew which way north was.
There you go. And there's a few more pieces to the puzzle than that, but they're not hard, no. And it's a lot of fun to use.
And that's what you're really discussing, is how to use it. And basically, you know, when you're out in the backcountry, you've got to be able to get back to the basics, because all the modern stuff may not be available.
Exactly. I like to think of it as a way to get back in time for dinner.
Yeah, call me late, call me anything, just don't call me real late for dinner. Right?
Exactly.
So you've got a map here behind you, and what you're pinpointing here, I think, is our places to ride in and around central Southern California?
Exactly. These are the areas that we currently have listed on trailmeister.com to both day rides as well as horse camping areas throughout California. I believe there's a whole lot more than what we have listed, so we're really here, you know, collecting more information from other riders to add to the list, so it makes an even better directory.
Now, obviously, you're here in California, so you just have California, but you have listings all over the country, right?
Every state in the union, including Canada.
Wow. Well, that's great. It's trailmeister.com, and that's M-E-I-S-T-E-R, right?
Exactly, the German spelling. Trailmeister.
Right. And I know you're tied in with some of the horse councils. We happen to know some in Wisconsin that you're tied into.
Yes, the Wisconsin Horse Council and King Carpenter, excellent guy.
Absolutely. So we're glad to be talking with you. This is a neat idea, and we hope we can do more with Speaking of Horses.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and stay with us. We're at the Backcountry Horseman's Rendezvous in beautiful Norco, California. We got more coming right here on Speaking of Horses. Well, the headline says Minnesota facing wild weather conditions for horses, and we are really busy here in Minnesota, say the folks. With fires in the north, the folks are turning their horses loose. Some are trying to find places to keep them. One volunteer is helping out big time as she called the person in charge of the fairgrounds near the fire areas. He said we can have folks bring horses to the corrals because the buildings are full of winter storage. So he turned on the water for the horses, and we're sending out a message to all Minnesota Horse Council people and on Facebook to let horse owners in northern Minnesota know if you're having problems yet from the fires or current flooding situations as well that have been happening in mid-May. We now want to remind you all those horses are now in a disaster plan. Now, with Minnesota having a tough time with the weather lately, I hope that each horse club and horse council will have a disaster preparedness plan in their own area. If you need any help with info on how to make a plan, please contact the American Horse Council. That's ahc.com. They are developing links and developing a plan for disaster. We'll be back. Stories of junior jumpers and horse trailer safety. Stay with us. We at Speaking of Horses would like to thank some of the people who helped to make Speaking of Horses TV possible. A big thank you to Equine Clot. Equine Clot is a wonderful product. Carry it in your saddlebag, put it in your first aid kit, wrap it on an equine wound. It immediately promotes clotting and is a great first aid tool. Thank you to Equine Clot. And to EquestraSafe, a complete line of equestrian riding products for trail, for arena, for wherever. From reflective vests, reflective headgear, tapes, signage, everything you need to ride safely and to be safe with your horse is available at EquestraSafe.com. Check them out. Thanks to all of the fine people that make Speaking of Horses TV possible. You know, it was Derby Day recently at the Old Salem Farm Spring Horse Show with two featured events in the schedule. Adrienne Iverson and Redfields Farms Salto Mortal captured the top prize in the $10,000 USHJA International Hunter Derby presented by Houlihan Lawrence Real Estate. While BZ Madden and Mademoiselle sped to the win in the $20,000 Speed Derby of North Salem. On hand at the show, As well was Robert Astorino, the county executive for Westchester County. Astorino met riders and enjoyed the show jumping competition as he helped support the event that brings thousands of equestrians to the county every year. Quote, "I didn't have these expectations," Iverson admitted. "I knew he was brave and going to do well, but this was beyond what we were expecting for this horse. He was easy from the first day. He's just a wonderful sweetheart." Well, we switch now to Caroline Rothman of Lionshare Dressage, looking forward to officially adding the word international to her title of FEI Dressage Rider. After winning many prestigious U.S. awards and titles in her young professional riding career, Rothman has earned the honor of being invited to compete in Aachen, Germany this summer. She's the first American dressage rider to be invited to compete in the under 25 Grand Prix division at Aachen, and will make history in that class with Sagacious HF. Now, she's excited about her plans to travel to Europe with Sagacious and her own mare, Her Highness O, to train and compete in the prestigious European tours. Quote, "I'm proud and excited to test my mettle in the European arena and to be the first American to compete in the under 25 Grand Prix. I'll also be competing with Her Highness O in the small tour at various European CDI competitions, including Aachen." Rothman announced all of that just recently. Well, we are pleased to bring you stories on a regular basis about Sunrise Inc., SUNRISE, a therapeutic riding center in Richmond, Indiana. Sunrise Inc. is a nonprofit corporation established in Wayne County in Richmond, Indiana in 1980 with a purpose to promote the health and social development of physically, mentally, and socially disabled people through therapeutic horseback riding. If you have a disabled person in your life, we encourage you to contact us and learn more about how therapeutic riding can benefit your loved one. Sunrise is proud to be associated with PATH International. That's the international organization supporting the therapeutic riding programs, and to be recognized as a PATH certified center for therapeutic riding. Since 1980, we've helped thousands of individuals using tailored programs for each individual for the needs, and they're taught by a certified PATH instructor. Our goal is to provide services to any individual, adult or child, who may be physically, mentally, or socially disabled, along with disadvantaged kids, without consideration to their economic status or their ability to pay for a lesson. It's because of our donors, sponsors, and fundraising efforts that makes this possible. Be sure and check them out. Find them at www.sunriseinc.org. You know, Ray Lockhart is a well-known trainer and clinician from Northern California, and he works mainly on the West Coast. Now, last fall, we were in Linden, Washington for the Horse Expo there and found time to talk with Ray about his program. Here's that interview from beautiful Linden, Washington. Well, we're still here at the Northwest Washington Horse Expo in Linden, Washington, and you've been seeing some of the clinicians, some of the fun things going on, and even pictures of Mount Baker with the snow up there on them. So we're in a beautiful part of the country, and right now, one of the headlining clinicians here is Mr. Ray Lockhart. And Ray and I have worked together, many times. You're out of kind of central to Northern California and work a lot up and down the West Coast. So first of all, welcome to Speaking of Horses while we're here in Washington. And just give us a little concept on this expo and how things are gelling for you.
Well, this has been a great expo. It's a first-year expo for the promoter, and they asked us to come up. We were pretty excited because we've worked with her before on other projects. And we're having a great time. It's had a fantastic turnout. We're really surprised. The layout's a little different where the booths are actually surrounding the arena. That's kind of a first. And but it keeps all the action and the vendors all in one place. So it's been a lot of fun, and we got to try something new that we've never done before, and that's cowboy mounted shooting. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, during the show here that you're watching on Speaking of Horses, we have excerpts of cowboy mounted shooting in here. It's, if you've never done it, it's exciting.
It's very exciting. So far as of now, I've only done the ground school. And today, later on, I'll be riding one of their horses and shooting their guns, and I'm interested to see how that turns out.
So we're going to have you in the demo this afternoon, right?
Yeah.
I'll be there, Ray.
Great. Yeah, I'm worried about all the cameras out there.
Well, see, I always joke. I had a mare for years. I said I know I could shoot off of her once. I don't know if I'd ever get the second shot off.
Yeah, they did apparently they did a really big desensitizing clinic out there. It went for 5 hours, and they worked through 12 or 14 horses. They had a great time with it, and I had demos all day, so I couldn't go watch that, but that sounded pretty good.
It's a neat sport, and it gets a throwback if you like the old cowboy stuff. It's obviously we're shooting blanks, okay? It's just a powder spray that takes out the balloon, and it only carries about 10 to 15 feet. So don't get the wrong idea about cowboy-mounted shooting. But it does have the sound. It is loud, and that's what bothers the horse more than anything.
Right, but what's also kind of interesting is there's no kickback or recoil in the pistol. So you can shoot the gun, and you don't really feel any recoil. And they do put earplugs in the horses, so they desensitize them to that, and the horses seem to do really well with it.
Well, I know, Ray, you do a lot of clinics, helping people with their horses and training and a lot of stuff at your ranch. How do people get a hold of you?
Well, they can go to our website. It's rlhorsemanship.com, or there's a toll-free number on there that they can call, email us, they can come see us. We'll be in several different expos on the West Coast this coming year. We're going to be in Pomona, Western States, Albany, Ridgefield. So we're going to be all over the place. Plus, we're having clinics in each one of those areas following the expo.
Well, I know you stay on the West Coast, but anywhere up and down the West Coast, we're almost in Canada here. Right. We're about 4 miles out of Canada, all the way down to Southern California, L.A. So, Ray, thanks for saying hello to us.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
All right, now you stay with us. We've got a lot more coming. We're right here at the Northwest Washington Horse Expo, and these highlights on Speaking of Horses. Well, Speaking of Horses TV will be on the road. Join us and say hello if you can. June 4th to the 8th, we'll be in Fort Worth at the Ranch Sorting National Championships and be broadcasting live on the internet on speakingofhorses.com every morning for daily recaps and interviews from the finals. Check our website for details at speakingofhorses.com. Also then on June 10th, we'll be doing a live morning internet broadcast in conjunction with Glenn the Geek from Horses in the Morning Radio. It'll be a simulcast radio and TV show from Gator Trailer Sales in Ocala, Florida. We'll be doing that morning live on June 10th. Then June 23rd to the 26th, we'll be in Indianapolis at the Marion County Fair with Indiana 4-H Fair Horse Show reports. Well, let's keep everybody in Oklahoma in our thoughts and our prayers and everything that we can do to help not only the human beings and all the suffering they've had, but the horses, the cattle, dogs, cats, and all the animals that have been misplaced or injured as well. Now that's our report for June. We'll see you back here in July for our World of Equine News report for July of 2013 coming next month. Until then, I'm your host, Wayne Williams, and we'll see you down the trail.